Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Season 2. Now, Camp Cretaceous, if you don't know, is a Netflix spin-off of the Jurassic World movies. Basically, it's showing us events that took place before, during, and after the Jurassic World movie from 2015, involving a group of kids who get an exclusive behind-the-scenes camp of Jurassic World, where everything, of course, goes wrong because this is a Jurassic Park property, and how would you expect things to go otherwise? The show mainly focuses on Darius, who is a nerd for everything Jurassic, an internet star named Brooklyn, a country girl named Sammy, a track and field star named Yasmina, a neurotic named Ben, and a lazy rich kid named Kenji, as they all attempt to survive Jurassic World after everything goes wrong, and after Camp Cretaceous ends up going completely south. In this second season, with no way off the island, the kids decide they have to find their own way to get a distress signal out so someone can save them, while they also meet some new characters who might end up revealing a bit more about what might happen for Jurassic World Dominion. But that's all I'll say about the story. The story here definitely does do a good job of progressing the things that happen in Season 1. Not only by actually giving us kid characters that I like, mainly because they have decent amounts of character development, and while some of them can feel like they're appealing to a modern, hip crowd, they do develop considerably over time, so they don't feel like they're just gimmicky and just there to appeal to the modern-day kids. Granted, some of their lines can get a little annoying, but compared to a lot of Jurassic Park kid characters, they are quite likable. And when I say that about characters like Kenji, it really does help that they have good actors to portray them. I don't think I would like Kenji, for example, nearly as much as I do if Ryan Potter wasn't voicing him. And I could say that for the rest of the voice cast as well. They all play their parts very well, and they do feel genuinely like kids, in the ways they make mistakes and in the ways they bicker, but also in the way they can work together and how they manage to survive a lot of the encounters with the dinosaurs. Speaking of which, the dinosaur CGI in the show is actually pretty impressive. They almost look about how as good as they look in the films. Which is to say, their CGI isn't the most impressive that I've seen, but for a animated series that's a spin-off of the films, they work pretty well throughout. As do the rest of the character designs, as the animation does look quite a bit like DreamWorks, which does make sense, because DreamWorks ultimately helped out with this film, along with having Steven Spielberg as an executive producer. So you can definitely tell they had confidence that the series would ultimately work. All of that does lead to some strong moments throughout the second season as well, especially since we learn about the fates of one of the kids who actually was left on a cliffhanger in the first season. In fact, a whole episode is just watching how he survived while being separated from the group, and that's actually possibly one of my favorite episodes, because it definitely shows that character evolving and becoming stronger than he was when he first made it onto the island. On top of that, we also meet some new characters, Mitch, Tiff, and Hap, who are the adult characters of this season. Since the camp counselors are no longer part of the series as they left the island in the last season, these three take over for our human main characters in the adults faction, and they actually work out pretty well for the story. I won't spoil what they do, but let's just say they do rely on some old Jurassic Park themes, while still feeling like they're, still able to work in a modern day setting. I don't think they're as cringeworthy and as obvious as Vincent D'Onofrio's villain from Jurassic World, if that makes any sense. So, for those of you who can't get enough Jurassic Park, Camp Cretaceous' second season is every bit as good as the first. It probably would have come and gone if it just came out on its own, but during the pandemic and with Jurassic World Dominion seeming further and further away, I think this should hold you off in terms of some good dino fun. So that's why I'm going to give Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Season 2 an 8 out of 10. See you next time.